Hello, my name is Miles Jett, and I'm running for governor of Oklahoma. You may have seen me out knocking on doors, trying to get the word out, trying to get the position of the concerned citizens. And so one of the citizens asked me about to react to a video, and I couldn't really see it very well on his cell phone. He gave me the link to it, and now I'm back home, and he wanted me to do a reaction video. And I've never done a reaction video, so this will be a first. But yeah, I wanted to try it out, and then maybe if it's something you guys like, then we can do it for other news articles. All right, let's give it a. It looks like it's already getting hot over here. Let's see what happens.
Now to a story about a man exercising his right to free speech and his neighbors exercising theirs. We were there this afternoon, as you see.
What does it say? Evil?
As tempers flared in a metro neighborhood, it's all over a sign referencing ICE, immigration and...
Okay. Now, if any of you have been watching the news or if you're on YouTube, I know you've seen this sort of situation going on at these rallies and protests, the neon sign. I mean, it must be hot outside if you're wearing, the flip-flops and shorts and whatnot, but the goggles, what is the goggles for? Again, this one makes me think you saw this on the news somewhere or you saw this on YouTube somewhere. He seems like he's being fairly calm. I mean, look at all of the signs that are here. No parking. Okay. And this is out in front of a school. I've been to some of these places, and the parents picking up their children, they really don't care. They will block off traffic. They will block intersections, block off your house. And there's this sense of entitlement that's like, I'm here to pick up my kids. You just got to deal with it. I already know these situations are already tense. And so to sit here and see that this guy's got all these signs up and he's got a fence across his yard, clearly a patriot. He's got his American flag up over here. I think he's probably been dealing with this for a while. And this right here, just a whole one person. I wonder what they have to say.
Custom enforcement and pointing to a Hispanic family's home. News 4's Tanner De Leon.
Oh my. Ooh. Boy, his suit put my suit to shame, don't it? Man, his hair too. I gotta get who does his hair.
Was there as both sides came face to face.
I asked y'all to turn the music down twice.
Shouts at the person who put up this sign in his yard near Spencer Elementary School.
This is not okay, and I'm a mother here. My children go to this school, and I will not tolerate this.
Wow. Okay, there was a couple of things that we need to address here. Let's go back here.
Shouts of...
So when he tries to speak, and again, I've seen this out in these other demonstrations. They don't have anything they necessarily want to say. They want to come out and scream. They want to come out and put their sign up. And they want to tell you that you need to live the way that I tell you to live. Even in your own house, on your own property. And as soon as you go to say something, as soon as you go to try to, they're just going to scream over you. They're just going to scream over you, never let you be seen, never let you be heard. They'll put their signs in your face. They'll shine the lights on you. They do all of these things, these tactics. And it's like, this is the part that everybody sees that you're the bad guy. You don't have anything that you're talking about. You don't have anything, on your mind. You're just screaming over people. You just want attention. So let's see how this plays out.
Shouts of anger and frustration aimed at the person who put up this sign in...
ICE needed here. Deport them all. I support ICE. There's nothing derogatory there. Clearly no nudity or any sort of parent advisory. ICE, that's a federal agency. ICE, they are out there, enforcing the law. If that's something that you don't like, take it up with your congressman. Take it up with your governor. Take it up with us, Explain to us what it is. But don't come to us come on. That's not how it's going to work. So sit down, get your feelings out on paper or something like that. Develop, a coherent type of argument, a coherent type of debate, a coherent type of speech, and come out and tell us exactly what's bothering you. But just screaming over a sign that clearly isn't illegal. Neither is her sign really, but her sign's calling the guy specifically evil. This lady is sitting outside a school with young children screaming at an elderly person in some tiny little shorts and a ski mask. You go home and you see on the news that they're pumping her up like she's the person that's right. The guy just standing in his own yard is somehow the bad guy. Again, I can still see signs over here. This guy has clearly had a problem with people coming on his property. And again, the people around the school are just entitled, like, hey, it's just a child. Don't be a grumpy old man. It's just a child. See, this is the thing about a lot of these people that don't own anything, that have never had to put themselves on the line. There's this thing called liability. All right? I don't want you to let your kid run wild and then him come jump over this fence right here. Look right here. And scratch himself up. Then I'm the bad guy. Then you want to sue me. So no, don't play next to my yard. Don't play in my yard. Okay? Go away. Well within his rights to do so. Okay? This is the other problem. Why are you not watching your children? How many children started complaining about this sign? So I don't really see the argument there either. If it said something obviously horrendous, get all the Mexicans out or deport all the Latinos or something like that. Dude, you're crazy. Hey, now I can see where your actions and your antics are coming in, but over this, how about we just ask some basic questions? Basic questions. Did anybody ask the guy if he was an illegal immigrant? Because it looked like he came out. For this guy, I mean, and to let you know, these signs aren't cheap. Me running for government, these signs right here aren't cheap. So this guy has spent money on these signs, these smaller signs, trying to tell people to stay out. And I'm telling you, this isn't this guy's first rodeo. He's had issues with this from the beginning. Just talking about kids, neglectful parents, people just driving and sitting in his driving way. Now he's got to fence everything off. Kids getting out of school, going over and tearing this stuff up. I can already see it. I've seen the scenario 1,000 times. So right there, you've got, again, some guy that's 60, 70, 80 years old. This is his only defense. This is his only offense, is to be able to put up little signs and stuff like that. In the one place he's supposed to be able to find peace in this world, at his house, on his own property. And then you get someone to come out like that, and then it's just like, hey, you need to do what I say. Who are you, lady? Who are you to say this? Are you an illegal immigrant? If you're not, then why are you so upset? Are they illegal immigrants? Because if they're not, then why are they so upset? When did the Latinas get this monopoly on illegal immigration? When did that happen? And I got some sun, didn't I? But when did that happen? I'm telling you, I've watched some of these ICE, not even some, quite a bit of these ICE, whatever, deportation type of body cam footage. And I'm telling you, 3 out of 10 maybe are Hispanics. Now, when they go across, the parking lot trying to get somebody, there's a whole load of people like this, just losing their minds over it. And that whole crowd is probably no illegals, nothing in it. That whole crowd right there is throwing sticks and acting out completely crazy. They wouldn't do this to any other law enforcement agency, but somehow they're so brazen that they'll go and do this to ICE. It's crazy to me. It's absolutely crazy to me. So anyway, to bring it back full circle, is this guy right here wants illegal immigrants gone. This guy right here, even if he's just being, let's say, a pain in the butt, an old guy that's just a grumpy pain in the butt. First and foremost, the guy is on his own property. There's nothing illegal here. Second, there's nothing illegal that she's doing. Really. I mean, she could be technically disturbing the peace. He could file a certain kind of complaint. She's out there screaming during school hours. She's making a distraction for the school, for those children she's so concerned about. So yeah, this whole thing doesn't make sense. And what doesn't make sense the most, and this is really getting on my nerves with a bunch of the new stuff, and it's why I didn't really want to come out here and do this. And I'm new to this to a certain extent. I've gone out and I've lived off grid and I've been volunteering and traveling and doing things. So I've had my head in the sand, so to speak. But I've heard enough that's got me coming out of retirement. That's got me saying, hey, look, this is bad. Someone's got to have a backbone. Someone's got to do this for the betterment of the state and of the country, not for money, whatever your political aspirations are. I don't care about any of that. What would be great is if I could come in, I could help our education system, I could help out our ranchers, I could help out our cops, I could make this state safe again, I could make this state start making more and more money, start looking to the future with avionics, space, satellites. That's, I think, the wave of the future. Drones. I think that's the wave of the future, and I think Oklahoma can get there. I think they can manufacture. I think they can put into the technical schools drone flying for crops, for deliveries, for patrol, whatever. It's coming. We could be a leader in that field. So I'd like to see all of that. But when you've got nonsense like this, bogging it down, bottlenecking everything, when you've got this is news coverage, but you won't let the people know that there's a blue collar guy that's just running, to try to really make things better, me, it makes it seem like the game is rigged. It makes it seem like we're just supposed to be here to be player characters, NPCs. I felt like I've given myself to this country and to this state. I've given myself to the poor counties and cities here in Oklahoma. I've donated my time and my money, and I could probably have a nice house and some land and everything, but I wanted to help. I saw what was going on. I came back from the military from being overseas. I was like, what is this country? Who are these people? What is happening? This is not America. So yeah, I just want to see it better. I want to see, hey, if you want to get out here and throw a sign up, have something to say. Have some substance. I'm fine with that. I mean, go out there and sound like an idiot too. That's your right. But you're never going to move things forward. All you're doing is holding up progress. If you've got a problem with someone, why don't you say something to them? But everybody's gotten to this passive aggressive, like even in real life, they're online now. That's the problem with being so ballsy online, is that you're building up a certain pattern. You're building up this habit. And once you finally get out in real life and you act like you act on the internet or on your phone, you end up being, some wackadoodle that people look at and it's just like, whoa, this isn't a good look. And it's really not a good look for whatever this news channel is, KFOR. How is this news? How is this helping anybody? How is this educating anybody? Where is the content in this? So I don't really understand the news angle from this one either. It's very disappointing. And this isn't the first one I've seen from these guys that is just like, come on. Come on, there's so much else going on, and this is what you got. So I'm sure I've said some stuff on X about it too, but let's go ahead and try to finish this. We're already getting way longer in this video than I wanted to.
In his yard near Spencer Elementary School.
This is not okay, and I'm a mother here. My children go to this school, and I will not tolerate this.
Where are these guys at? Why weren't they saying anything? Evil lives. So she's screaming the guy is evil, and she's blasting out where he lives. This is much, much worse than what's going on in his yard. And this guy's clearly fed up with it because he's been dealing with it for a long time. And this lady here thinks that she's right. And not just that. That old guy needs to change his whole life to fit in the box that she wants him to fit in. So, I mean, you have a nice big yard. Why isn't your kids playing in your yard instead of over in his yard? And again, is the guy being called an illegal immigrant an illegal immigrant? Like, that's the only excuse I can understand why you're upset is this guy is outing you and you're pissed off about it. And I don't know, I'm trying to make things up for this poor lady. Like, maybe her kids plays with those kids. And I don't know. I really don't get her role in it at all. Again, I think she saw some stuff on YouTube and saw an opportunity to get her butt on the TV. So it's not a bad yard.
The sign points to. They tell News 4 they've had issues with the man since moving in a couple years ago.
They don't like us. They complain about everything. My kids played in the yard over there in the grass, and they come to the fence and they start telling them, hey, you need to go to your house.
Look how close they are to the road. So you're telling me your kids cross this road and come over here and play in his grass over here? Like, that is dangerous, man. Again, okay, so now he doesn't want a kid to get hit by a car. Now he doesn't want a kid jumping his fence, making him liable for some sort of injury that they caused because you didn't keep your kids in your yard. You didn't keep your kids on the opposite side. You didn't teach your kids not to play in the street.
Hey, you need to stop playing.
Families picking up their kids from Spencer Elementary say this does not surprise them.
I was a kid here in the school over 20 years ago, and it was like the same kind of way.
20 years. She was there 20 years ago, and it was the same way with this guy. People, how long are you going to deal with it? 20 years? Longer? She just proved my point. This guy's been dealing with this forever. This is horrible. This is the news to be sticking up for that other guy, that patriot. Has anybody been asked if they're illegal immigrants? Has anybody asked, his opinion? I haven't seen that old guy on here once.
He lives next to the school, but even like balls over the fence, like common things. Still an issue, I guess.
At one point, police showed up. That's when the homeowner came outside.
Look at her over there.
Ordonez says it is one of the few times he has had an opportunity to try and speak with the man.
That's when the news should have turned around and left. The guy just said this is one of the few times he's ever been able to even talk to the guy that put the sign up. And he's coming out like that. And he's already had to sit here and deal with, for lack of a better word, Karen. Spouting off way worse stuff than his sign could ever say. Screaming obscenities at this guy standing in his yard. An elderly man during school hours. And this poor guy, just some old dude, sick and tired of it. Probably had somebody come over and knock on his door. Probably had someone park in his parking spot. He couldn't get in or out of his house because they were waiting to pick up their kids. And the police do nothing. They've been told not to. We have to free up the police. The police need to be out there doing their job. If it's that whole row of cars, they want to do it every single day, I guess you just figured out how you're going to pay for a lot of things. Get them. Every single time. Give them a ticket. It's only going to take them once or twice. They're not going to do it anymore. Get some order here. Wow. We need to free up our cops. Our cops need to be able to enforce the law.
They don't like Hispanic people or they don't like nobody yet.
How would you know? This is one of the first times you've ever spoken to him.
I don't know what this problem is. We never mess with him at all.
We out here.
Yeah.
As soon as he wanted to speak, she just started screaming. Nuh-uh. I saw that he had a flag over here. I see he's got signs and fence everywhere. What else can he do? And this is one of the first times you've spoken to him? This is such a problem you want to go screaming and stuff like this in the middle of the news? You want to have some Karen out there with a neon sign calling him evil? Because he wants someone to, because he said, hey, government agency that handles these type of complaints and disputes and problems. we've got some people over here that you might need to check out.
Can't do anything. We reached out to OKCPS as well, with it being so close to the elementary school. They say there is nothing because the sign is not on their property, adding, quote, the district is committed to all students. Families hoping for a change.
I wish we would quit spreading the hate. I know this.
Okay, let's give everyone on this side, the benefit of the doubt. Let's say the people are not illegal immigrants. Let's say that everybody knows this, including the old mean guy who's in his yard behind a fence with signs that he paid out of his own pocket, calling the guy evil. But you'd wish all the hate would stop? How does that make sense? Your side is the hate. Your side will not let the other side speak. I mean, we're clearly in the minority here because do you not see why you need to vote Miles Jett for governor? Do you not see what is going on in our state? Our news channels are mostly liberal. Again, when you go and you look at these local politicians and stuff like that, your ward councilmen and stuff, you people are voting in liberal-likins. They went around, told you something pleasing to your ear. Oh yeah, I'm going to get this guy. And you wonder why things are just liberalizing around you. Now, definitely made up a couple words right there, but
This community has grown, and everybody that's coming to this community has made an impact and makes a difference for what they do here. I know this community has grown, and everybody that's coming to this community has made an impact and makes a difference for what they do here.
Another one of those key indicators, okay? That right there basically just said, I know a lot of people have moved into this community. I mean, she's almost just saying, yeah, a lot of illegal people just moved into this community, but they bring something to the table. So that's okay. I mean, tell me if it comes off different to y'all.
I wish we would quit spreading the hate. I know this community has grown, and everybody that's coming to this community has made an impact and makes a difference for what they do here.
Tell me you haven't heard that same argument from people who are pro illegal immigration. And I still to this day have never, ever been able to have someone sit down and have a conversation, debate, whatever you want to call it, of how illegal immigration is a good thing. From any country, from any state, from any race, it's never happened. It's never happened.
In Spencer, Tanner DeLeon, Oklahoma's News 4.
And again, it's important to point out, as Spencer said, police say the man isn't doing anything illegal. And right now, this is just a case of both sides expressing their right to free speech.
One, you have the right to free speech if you are an American citizen. The Constitution is for American citizens. We are not the majority here in Oklahoma. We're in the minority. You need a strong governor in the seat. You need someone that is not a career politician, not one of these guys that's just going to keep on doing the same old thing. You need Miles Jett as governor so that we can nip this stuff in the bud.